Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 70 of Direwolf20's Server Play series. Hanging pretty much by myself today. Theo's on, but I don't think he's on voice chat usually, so just me today. T-Love is out of town. I think he's wrapping up PAX West. I unfortunately was not able to attend PAX West. I don't usually attend the West Coast PAX, usually because it's like just really far away from me. So yeah, long story short, no Dire there. Bummer. It does stink. I kind of wish I could have gone, but what are you gonna do? So today, what I think I'd like to focus on, T-Love gave me a really large area for UU matter production, and I don't need that much space. At least I don't think I do. But let's see. I've got a mass fab. I've got a scanner. I made myself a new replicator. Pain in the tuchus to make a new replicator, but I made one, so that's cool. Let's see. So mass fab, replicator. So the mass fab is really like the big party, right? So that's the one we're going to hold off on. The replicator is really pretty straightforward. The pattern storage should go next to the replicator. Should go the scanner here, right? So that is all good stuff. We can clear out this area here. And these guys, yeah, totally just crashed there. No idea what that was about, but cool. How am I for cable in here? I've got some. Hopefully that's enough for now. Pretty much all three of you should be able to accept. So scanner, pattern store doesn't really need power. Replicator should actually have more power. The scanner, what tier is that? Tier 4. Replicator, tier 4. Mass fab, tier 3. Haha, okay, cool. Sneaky, sneaky. So gold cable should be sufficient for what we want to do here. We're out of rubber. Trying to decide how I should play this. Because I've basically got a couple options. Is now a good time to migrate our stuff? Or not yet? I'm gonna say not yet. How about, you know what I might want to do is make that powered tree tap. Alright guys, we are back. And I've made a few things and I'm gonna show you guys what is going on now. Let me get my tape. Coming with me, basic drawer. Okay. I'm gonna want to put away at the moment. Probably don't need this sign. I guess that's enough. What's in here? These things, right? And so we're definitely going to have to put more things away. I'll put away these, that I do want, and I'll put away my EU reader for the time being. That should be cool. So that's good. Clearly, by the way, Soren has been in my base. What have you been up to? Fluid ejector upgrade, output to top. Okay. Pulling upgrade from the west side. Okay. He gummed up my thermal centrifuge, didn't he? Yeah. Soren! What has he been up to? I guess he was like making large amounts of things and just left a mess. That's what Soren does. I also, by the way, real quick, made an electric J-tap off camera. And made a couple other things, but I just want to do a little bit of off-camera work. Ow. See you later, skeleton. So back to the underground bunker. Let's see what we got going on down here. So yeah, I did a little bit of underground work, messing around with the wiring, because I had, you know, a back and forth discussion with myself about how I wanted to wire this, and in the end, this is what I came up with. Real quick, just to demonstrate for you guys, in case you don't remember, you can make your painters red and yellow is what I chose to go with to prevent cables from connecting. So this is my And, you know, to be fair, I could probably just make it look even cooler, run them all parallel to each other. But this is my, let's maybe do that. Because I can. See? Nice. So this is low voltage, right? It's not like super low voltage. This is medium voltage, and this is like tier 4. So tier 4, 3, 2, and tier 1 is the tin cable stuff, right? So let's go over here. I do want to have, so I put the mass fab in, I put down just a redstone torch for now. These guys all have large amounts of power. What I'm considering, somebody scanned an MFSU, and I have to assume that was Soren. I'm considering having an MFSU over here that's dedicated to powering these 4 machines, but I haven't decided fully if I want that yet or not. We'll kind of figure that out. What else do I got? So mass fab's ready to go. So I'm going to want my recycler here. And it occurred to me that I didn't exactly do a good job. But that's okay. Let's set the ejector upgrade to this side, the south side. And what I should have gotten was the other stuff that I use for over here. This stuff. So can I snag a bucket real quick? Lava, water. Inventory is always the issue. You know what I can do is just put these as storage upgrades. That should work, right? That's a lot of junk. Nice. I'm gonna want this in there. Trash can can kind of go away. And I'm gonna want this guy to come with me. All right, and away we go. I want to say that he added a hotkey to that, by the way. I just don't know what it is, and I should probably look. Come on, bunker. There we go. Sweet. All right, so what I'm thinking is, so we'll probably want from here, we will put the following. You here. Lava, water. This dude. This and this. Is that all the upgrades I had in there? Cool. And then we'll want pipes. That basically go up into, what I'll do is have, I'll put the chest right on top, and then we can use item conduits to transfer into here. And I want to say that I probably left it back there, didn't I? Didn't I have like upgrades to these dudes? Yeah, I did. Thought so. So this can have the extract always active. Why does that look grayed out? But I have a speed upgrade. I just picked them up too. Item conduit speed upgrade. Nice. And you will be insert. Cool. Perfect. Then all this thing really needs is power. Now I've got a tier 4 line right here. So what I'm going to do is I've got 2 transformers. Do I have another? I do. So I think 3 should be enough, right? Because it's tier 1 machine, but it'll be tier 2, tier 3, tier 4. So I think it even tells me. Increases energy input tier by 3. So increases it by 3. I don't have any more HV cable. That's a bummer. Need more rubber. Well, let's go get some. That's why I made the electric G-tap. It's also why I have a magnet on. Sweet. I almost feel like a magnet's like almost necessary for collecting rubber, because rubber just flies in like random directions. Good enough for me. All right. Soren and his crazy shenanigans here. I need to get those underground, so I'll probably do that shortly-ish. Nice. I'm gonna let that stuff go back into my system here in a minute. I just want to make sure I don't actually need any of it. I'll take my overclocker upgrades, everything else. I'll take you and you can go away. How's that? Return. Nice. Cool. All right. So let's get this thing finished up. Tito's gonna come back and he's gonna be all proud of me and say, "Dyer, you did a great job." He might yell at me for wiring, but we'll see. So this should not blow up. Yay, no explosions. And then 10 overclocker upgrades. Power should not be a problem for you. Nice. That is awesome. That's what I like to see. All right, now I do have you pushing out to the south side. So what I was thinking with this, I should actually have you push out to the north side. I'll put this down here. You should get pushed. Nice. That's what I want to see. And then underground here, I can run item conduits that feed into this thing. See, I've got power going into that side. It's the tricky part about this. It's gonna have to come up here. There's no other way about it. It's what has to happen. There's no other option. I can't run these conduit, the conduit and power together. Just, nope, not gonna happen. So you should be filling up. Nice. That's what I like to see. So not terrible. I'll have to figure out something with this. I mean, I could run it into the back just to maybe make it look a little bit nicer. What do you think? Making sure this is set to insert. And then I could do some kind of facade there. That'll make it look cool. All right, so that's good. Let's come back in a minute here. I'm just gonna, what I'm gonna do off camera is rebuild the super circuit maker thing. That's what I'll do. All right, guys, I think I've got this working. Let's see if I'm right. So I'm just gonna pop this dude here. We're gonna use this and we're gonna say north, and out. So that should be cool. So that should connect and be good. And so that's the redstone signal coming out here, right? I think we want to knot this, don't we? Yeah, pretty sure I want that to be knotted. So let's do that with a torch here. There we go. Cool. So, as long as there's 64 in there, does that not need to be there? Right, redstone signal off means the machine runs, right? So, drops down below 5, and what we should see is a redstone signal is applied. And then even if it goes above 5, right, as soon as we get to more than 60, redstone signal goes off, and it's allowed to run again. Cool. So let's break this. It's allowed to run. When it drops below 5, it should turn off. Ta-da! And then if we throw, boom, it's allowed to run again. Perfect. So that's good. I know that circuit's a little bit more complex than it was before, but it works for me. So we're basically knotting this, so like inverse of that, and then it comes in, and this is like a mini RS latch, and then knot the output. So that's cool. All right, good deal. So I think everything's good to go now, right? And this thing's making a bunch, which is pretty much what we would want to see. And I am pleased. And if I do the north connection here and insert, he should start getting scrap. Cool. And it doesn't need an accelerator. So that's perfect. So we're good. So this thing's just going to run. This, by the way, is currently disabled. That's okay. If I just connect this dude, just make sure it's set to in-out. This should start running steam into these guys. So you should be getting all this stuff. We're producing hot steam. You are producing power. And that's all good to me. Sweet. Now there's one more thing I might want to do. I might want to make a manual cutoff switch. Oh, and you don't need to be here at all. I don't know why you're there. So a manual cutoff switch would be easy. It would simply be... Do we have any facades handy? We do, and they're even stone conduit facades, which is nice. And levers. So what I could do is you. Perfect. Manual cutoff switch. That cuts that off. We'll continue making scrap until we fill back up, but this gives this thing the opportunity to fill up again. And this should, in theory, be running, right? Yes. Why are you not running? The light's off. Why is the light off? Why is the light off? Now it's running. Blaming Soren. When in doubt, blame Soren. You guys are aware of that rule, right? Yeah. So hopefully you don't explode or anything. I should probably keep an eye on this thing. This will fill up again, and then we'll be in good shape. All right. So this is all good. This is all good. We'll put our facades down. And everything's good, right? That looks not terrible. Nice. All right, cool. The only other thing that we'll want to do is get UU matter into the replicator. Haven't sorted that part out really yet. I'm thinking either we'll put like a tank on the top that's set to output below it, or something along those lines. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. So I'm playing around with stuff I think the next thing I want to do here is T-Love allocated this corner to be manual IC2 machines. I'd rather it be this area for manual IC2 machines. So that's what I'm going to do. So let's teleport here. I'm going to go get my manual IC2 machines. That's why I cleared up my inventory a little bit. Soren and his mess making. So let's put all this stuff in here, shall we? I also started making reactor chambers because I want to get my next nuclear reactor going. But we'll clean this up. This all can go in here. Crushed uranium ore, that's fine. I'm wearing my reactor suit, so, because reasons, obviously. This can come up. Now I'm kind of bummed that we're going to be killing this, but what I could do is use a... I want to eventually move my windmill over the structure that I have and probably use a dimensional transceiver instead of what I had already, but we'll see. For now, I'm going to be mostly nuclear. But I still wouldn't mind that passive power gen underground there. It would be kind of cool to have. So when I break this, it's going to lose a lot of power, but that's okay. And sweet, he retained his inventory. Cool. Better not have lost those pellets of RTG fuel, because if I did, that's a bug, and I'm cheating them back. I have no problem telling you that I'm going to cheat those back if I lost them. I should have another moving wand in here. Cool. So this has a bunch of this stuff. Fluid solid canning machine, steel plate. Yeah, let's pick this dude up here. This is going to be used to pick up my chest. Cool. I'm picking these up because they have filters in them that I will probably want. So that's all good, right? Nice. Good enough for now. So is that everything from the manual machines room? The only other thing that I could imagine bringing with me is this thing. So I could bring this rotor deal with me and use a dimensional transceiver back at the base. That might not be a terrible idea. Let's pick it up though, because there's no reason to leave it here, right? So let's... You're configured for what? Emit if full. Okay. And then the rotor comes in. And then we'll grab... That should be cool. I'm gonna get this stuff off camera. Alright, good enough for me. Hey, what's this? Oh, box of scrap. Cool. Let's take that with us too. I forgot I had that in there. You can come with me and I will get some tape. Alright, meet you back at the new base. Alright guys, we're back. So in my old base, I had basically 2 lines of machines. One line that was all like the manual crafting stuff, and the other that was automated for uranium production. And I think that's what I'm going to do over here as well. So let's get started with the line that'll be the manual machine. So thermal centrifuge, electric heater and coils, and blast furnace, extractor, metal former, macerator, one of these, compressor or washing plant can stay for now. This guy, I got to do something with. The MFE we're probably going to want over here. And the MB transformer, sure, why not? I might want to make a few more transformer upgrades, and I can just run everything on the gold cable stuff. That would be kind of cool. Is that everything? Canning machine, turbines, MFE. That, I guess, is everything. Okay, cool. So, let's see. We had our... I'm going to put the blast furnace at the very end. So the blast furnace, the electric heater was here with the coils in it. You were here, facing down. So that should be allowed to build up heat now. I think I had the compressor next to it, right? And you know what? I had them one level up, didn't I? Yeah, that's how I did it. So we had the blast furnace here. That's right. So that I could put the item conduit with, I want to say, was it these? Nope. That's the ones that did the energy crystals. I wish there was a way to see what was on these. Yeah, universal fluid cell with air. So, okay, cool. Were there two of these? Because I would think I would need two of them. In theory, I probably don't even need. So these go in the uranium line. These also go in the uranium line. Because these swap, right? So down will be, I'm going to try it without. Insert on green, you know what I can do. Extract on brown, always active. And this can be in out, insert on green, insert on brown, extract on green, always active. That should work. And there should be some compressed air cells here. Nice, and they just went right in. Perfect, that's what I want to see. Cool, and then we'll put our metal former and macerator, extractor, and that's the MFE and the MV transformer. Neat, okay. And then if we ever decide we want some more machines, we've got a little bit of room for growth there. I might even put like my fluid canning machine stuff over there. All right, nice. So in addition to this, we're gonna want the macerator, the ore washing plant, the thermal centrifuge. So we'll start down here at the end. Well, we'll leave 3 spaces, right? That's what we have over here. We have 4. That lines up pretty nicely. Thermal centrifuge, ore washing plant. Now I could just use ejectors, couldn't I? But I do have the cables with all the filters ready. So let's just kind of stick with that. And this guy, we will moving wand him. Cool. So you will be insert uranium, right? You will be insert crushed uranium ore. And I'll put these 2 away because I know that I don't need them at this moment. And you will be insert this guy, and you will be, actually, I think this goes on the extract. Extract you and insert you. That should be cool, right? So you insert this, you insert this, you will get that stuff. Cool. So we're going to need a little bit of power in these guys. So macerator is a what? Tier 1. So we're going to want 2. These are reversed because I'm a derp. For washing, thermal centrifuge. The washing plant is also a tier 1, so we're going to want 2 on you. The thermal, I want to say, is a tier 2, so you should only need 1 to get up to tier 3 power. The extractor, I want to say, is tier 1, so you need 2. The metal former needs 2. The macerator needs 2. And the compressor is also going to need 2 transformer upgrades. This way everything can run on MV current, which is 512 EU per tick, which is the output from an MFV. Right? Power tier 3. Sweet. So what I should be able to do is, actually what I'm going to do is put it right under here. So if I put that there, so this line, cool. And then we'll get our gold cable. And eventually we'll run power over here from the HV cable, and then we'll power convert it when it gets here. Because I want to say, let's see, 0.8 per tick, 0.4 per tick, I guess. That's fine. So nothing should explode. Everybody should happily accept the power I'm giving them. And that should be good, right? No problems. The only thing I'm going to need then is the reservoir, which I thought would be chilling in here, but it's not. Where's the reservoir? I thought, did we use it already? Did we use it over here somewhere? By the way, are you full? Yes. And therefore you turned off? Yes. Good. That's what I wanted to see. Nice. Love it when things work the way they're supposed to. Alright, I don't know where my reservoir is at the moment. So I think we're gonna have to make one. Could have sworn I had one around here somewhere. Did I use it for something? I didn't think so. Be right back. Alright, so let's do this. Let's do our reservoir. I need to borrow the water from over here for a moment. Don't mind me. I'll fill it back up. Nice. And then you can go up into here. Extract, and you are the wrong spot. Ha! Derp. Now we're talking. Beautiful. So now in theory, if I were to grab some uranium, just one, and pop it in here, he should... Extract always active. Boom. This thing starts running. And what I'm gonna do is Extract always active. This thing's running? Cool. And then this thing's gonna heat up. Beautiful. I don't remember if this helps things heat up faster. I don't think it does. I think it just makes it process faster. So that's cool. But everything's working, so that's pretty much what I would want to see. And then this will also be extract always active, and that should be cool. Nice. All right, good deal. So that's pretty functional, I would say. And we could even facade this up if we wanted to, which I think I've still got those. Cool. Not bad at all. All right, so I think what we'll do is wrap up the episode here. We've got a pretty functional room down here. Next episode, I'd like to come back and start working on making another nuclear reactor. I think I'll craft a lot of the components ahead of time. So the pressure vessel stuff, the reactor access hatch, the interior of the nuclear reactor, which is like there. These things, the reactor chambers, right? And every component that goes inside of it. And I might even craft in advance some more steam boilers, liquid heat exchangers, and heat conductors. So a large part of the reason that I built a lot of this is so that I can build a lot of those components, because I'd like to see if I can have 2 reactors running simultaneously with the same exact setup, and I'm going to have another set of steam boilers, and I'd like to keep it all running on one set of kinetic generators, because I don't know that I've reached a limit for these steam turbines yet. I don't know what the limit is. So I'd like to see if I need another set of steam turbines, I'll just have another set here, and I'm going to scale it up. So what I'm going to do is place it like this, right? And we'll have these one level above. I think that'll work pretty well. And we'll see how it looks. I think it'll look cool. The one other thing I'm probably going to want to set up between now and then is my canning machine. So I'll probably put this down at the end of this line. Yeah. Right here should be fine. And I'll have the canning machine here. I think I'll need another transformer upgrade. I'll need 2, won't I? Yeah. So I'll get to working on these off camera. But there's one. All it's missing is this dude. I think I've got a machine casing around here somewhere. Yeah, I do. So yeah, what I'll do is, the reason I need this is I want to make more overclock upgrades, because I don't want to have to move stuff anymore. So what I want to do is always have enough overclock upgrades on everything. Nice, power. Cool. So distilled water in, and coolant out is what I'll probably set up here. So how will I want this to look? I could just have... This will be a distilled water dedicated guy. I've got them in barrels of some kind. Drums, that's it. Yeah, I've got like 4 drums full of distilled water. Chunk loading for the win. Up, extract, always active. Boom. Distilled water. And then we should have some lapis dust hanging out. Beautiful. And this needs to be in this mode. Cool. All right, and then empty cells. Cool. All right, wrapping up point. Dial 20 signing off. Hope you enjoyed the episode. Take it easy.